will present their national energy strategies, termed compacts, detailing their approaches to achieving universal energy access within 5 years. On the second day, heads of state will endorse the Dar es Salaam Energy Declaration, outlining a unified roadmap for Africa's progress towards the Mission 300 objectives. President Tinubu will deliver a national statement reaffirming Nigeria's commitment to achieving universal access to energy and its leadership role in Africa's energy sector. He will also highlight Nigeria's ongoing clean energy initiatives and its strategy to drive integrated energy delivery on the continent. Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Ojukwu, Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, Special Advisor to the President on Energy, Olu Verhagen, and other senior government officials will accompany President Tinubu on the trip. He will return to Abuja after the summit. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu is canvassing an improved collaboration between Nigeria and Algeria that will also help to implement the Trans-Saharan African gas pipeline project. The president was addressing the new Algerian ambassador to Nigeria, one of the 3 new envoys who presented letters of credence to him on Friday. State House correspondent Musbao Dan Wahab reports.
55-year-old Hussein Masoud is the new Algerian ambassador to Nigeria. He is also representing the North African country in ECOWAS, covering Togo and Benin Republic. His country has commonality with Nigeria as also a large producer and exporter of oil and gas. He assumed this position when President Bola Tinubu is preparing Nigeria as a net exporter of gas to the world. Expressing hope for a new partnership with Algeria in this regard, President Bola Tinubu expressed belief that African countries should collaborate more to lift one another to become stronger together. The Algerian ambassador equally agreed that the Trans-Saharan African gas pipeline project and other proposed regional development projects will significantly impact the continent. Ms. Hood said Algeria would continue to support Nigeria in negotiating for improved livelihood of the continent with multilateral institutions. The Republic of Finland also sent Ms. Sanda Selin as its new envoy in Nigeria at a time the relationship between both countries is witnessing dimensional growth. Her meeting offered the president the opportunity to comment on the recent arrest of Simon Ekpa. President Tinubu commended the intervention of the Finnish government with the arrest and detention of Simon Ekpa, saying his government would not tolerate actions and statements that will lead to divisiveness among citizens. He lauded the Finnish authorities for the timely intervention that safeguarded the nation's integrity and mitigated an action that threatened peaceful coexistence. He said even as a child born into activism, he does not believe in divisiveness, as he noted that Nigeria needs cohesion and cooperation to bring about developments. The president also pointed out that the ambassador's priorities, including ICT, agriculture, and education, will directly impact the country's developments. The ambassador of Finland extolled the president for his courage in initiating reforms that will benefit the economy and ensure prosperity in the future. Similarly, Mr. Gautier Mignon is the new head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS. President Tinubu acknowledged the EU as one of the highest trading partners of Nigeria, urging the envoy to work towards elevating the volume of transactions and strengthening the ties. He said Nigeria needs support in digitalizing and automating operations and processes for rendering services.
To foster an era for Nigeria, certainly, of economic prosperity in a rapidly changing world and with rapidly changing dynamics. Nigeria continues to lead, especially in Africa, in fostering security, and in this guise, we always seek the support and collaboration of the European Union.
Ambassador Minyo told President Tinubu that Nigeria holds many untapped potentials, adding that more could be realized through development cooperation and technology leveraging. From the State House, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
Chairman Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation, Kenneth Eze, says governments will have to channel the needed financial resources to the sector, project policies and programs of governments, as well as give a positive image of Nigeria to the global community. This was while submitting the 2025 budget report to the Appropriations Committee for consideration. Senator Eze insists South welfare must also be prioritized. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Among projects listed by the minister captured in the budget of the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Management is the second runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The minister told the Joint Committee that the earlier contract awarded for the work was cancelled due to variations he described as outrageous.
When we don't have a 100% release, the projects remain like that. They come back for variation, most of the contractors, and then it is penny wise, pound foolish for us as federal government not to quickly fund these projects and complete them, because at the end of the day, we'll now end up spending 4 times more.
They should give us the passenger their respect, their honor. This is our country. It's not about making money for them.
At another session, the Joint Committee on Local and Foreign Debt engaged the Ministry of Finance and the Debt Management Office.
We own most of Nigeria's public debt, okay? So it's on our website, but it's 142 trillion naira as at September.
The National Assembly is, however, optimistic about Nigeria's debt to GDP ratio in 2025.
The debt ratio to GDP is about 55%. That is not bad. What explains the increase from 40% to 55% is the fact, again, that we don't have the cash. Now, Tinubu administration has done very well in the last 18 months. It has gone down to about 65%.
Chief medical directors of teaching hospitals in the country at the budget sitting with the House Committee on Health Institutions want federal government to take measures towards addressing brain drain in the sector.
Resignation almost every day. And I hope that
we have problems.
In the next 1 or 2 years, we're not going to have all our hospitals empty. We need to do something about remuneration of all the healthcare workers. Otherwise, government is putting a lot of money in infrastructure, and we are going to have empty hospitals.
I think so. The reality is that you must extract the proposal made by Mr. President as it affects your medical center.
Meanwhile, standing committees of the Senate have commenced submission of reports to the Appropriations Committee as legislative work continues on the 2025 budget.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Steel Development, has sought World Bank support for the development of steel roadmap and other critical areas of the steel sector in Nigeria. Minister of Steel Development, Shuaibu Abubakar Audu, in a meeting with World Bank delegation in the ministry's headquarters in Abuja, disclosed that as a vital sector for economic progress and industrialization, it is imperative that a comprehensive roadmap for the steel sector is pave way for a sustainable future for steel in Nigeria. He noted that the need for a strategic plan for the steel industry in Nigeria cannot be overstated, adding that with the right framework in place, the industry can unlock its full potential, create jobs, boost local production, and contribute significantly to the country's GDP. Prince Audu disclosed that some of the critical areas that need to be addressed in the roadmap include evaluation and determination of steel raw materials, development of health and safety guidelines for the steel sector in Nigeria, designing and developing a national metal scrap policy framework, development of a national steel laboratory for quality assurance, as well as the development of an online portal for steel and other metal products imported into the country. Leader of the World Bank delegation, Nora Arfa, says the World Bank has a work program and activity plan outlined beginning from January 2025 that will see a roadmap for Nigeria drafted and adopted by August 2025. Now, following his recent outing at the Sustainability Week Summit in Abu Dhabi, President Bola Tinubu has been commended for his invitation to investors to collaborate on Nigeria's green bonds. Sponsor of the Nigeria Climate Change Bill, now an act, and member that represented Ikwano Umahia North, Umahia South Federal Constituency in the 9th House of Representatives, Samuel Onuigbo, in an exclusive interview with NTA, said Nigeria's green bonds have proven over time to be successful, and the President's invitation is a clear demonstration of his commitment to contributing Nigeria's quota to the global challenge.
We must appreciate the fact that this is something involving the entire world. As Mr. President said, it's not just a national challenge, but a global challenge that has its opportunities and challenges. So he said a whole lot, and he also reminded the world, and I want to quote, say, to succeed, collaborate decisively as a global community. But the key thing and the good thing about Mr. President's invitation is that, look, he was confident that the Nigerian nation has succeeded in doing this. About 7 universities were beneficiaries of that in trying to enhance their renewable energy. And then the other sums were used for afforestations in targeted ways. So you see the outcome. So Mr. President said he was inviting investors to come and join the Nigerian benefit or participate in this. He has seen that this is transparent, this is targeted, it's robust in nature.
Honourable Samuel Onuigbo talking on the climate change issues and the green bonds. We'll take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. The U.S. air carrier United Airlines Boeing 787 that departed from the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, to Washington, D.C. at about 12 midnight on Thursday, returned to Lagos and landed safely at about 3:22 in the morning on Friday, 24th of January. In a press statement by the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Biageli Ora, it indicates that all 245 passengers and 11 crew members on board were disembarked and rescued safely. She further stated that the 4 passengers and 2 crew members who sustained major injuries due to panic during the turbulence, including additional 27 passengers, are receiving medical attention at various health facilities, while treatment and discharged immediately. While investigations are ongoing to find out the root cause of the incidents, the authority says FAN will continue to provide updates as they become available. Bayelsa State Governor Duyi wants core members to be good ambassadors of the NYSC and represents Bayelsa in a good light. This was his charge to the Batch C Stream 11 core members during the swearing-in ceremony at the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp, Boro Town in Kayama. Doris Akumonye has details.
Who was represented by the Commissioner for Youth Development, Alfred Kemepado Nibiswa, and joined the core members to key into the vast opportunities in the state. The governor assured that the state government remains an active and critical stakeholder in the security and welfare package that will enable their service year experience, and memorable time. The chief executive said NYSC offers a unique platform for the youth to come together, learn from one another, and build lasting bonds, expectations, and ideologies.
You will conduct yourselves as worthy ambassadors of the service. You will be representing not just yourselves, but your families as well. I urge you to be exemplary in your conduct.
State Coordinator Mrs. Okpalifu Obiageli Charity highlighted the objectives of the orientation course. She enjoined them to shun all forms of social vices and actions detrimental to the image of the scheme during the orientation course and in their various places of primary assignments.
The members will participate in all various activities, including drills, physical and leadership trainings, traditional lectures, language and professional lectures, as well as skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development.
High points of the event was the administration of national and NYSC pledges on the core members by the State Chief Judge, Justice Matilda Abrakasa Ayemege.
Be slavish. Without being slavish. Always remember the motto, and strive continuously to lead to the ideals of the National Youth Service Corps.
Doris Akomonye, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the Ekiti State government is taking steps to regulate the operations of scavengers in the state to enhance security and boost its revenue drive. This was the focus of engagements with the leadership of the National Association of Scrap and Waste Dealers Employees of Nigeria across the 16 local government areas in the state. Olukemi Sani has details.
Cities in the country, combing every nook and cranny, pilfering valuables in the name of scavenging for scraps. Following the receipt of several complaints from people on the activities of these scavengers, many of them engaging in theft, vandalization, spying and releasing information to kidnappers and hoodlums, among others.
We take appropriate steps to ensure that the activities of this scavenger do not escalate into another crisis we'll be managing in the state.
Is to be sure that all these scavengers are carefully being profiled.
We should capture them under the tax net because they don't even pay tax.
We propose that we are going to give them uniform too for identification with the ID card. So the safety of our people is important to us.
The state government reaffirming its unwavering commitment to safeguarding residents reiterated that only registered scavengers will be allowed to do business in the state, stressing that relevant security agencies, including the police, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the DSAs will be involved for enforcement. Yusuf Dangoro, a scavenger from Ikere Ekiti, pledged the readiness of the association to comply and operate within the law guiding their businesses and partner with the government in enhancing security.
As good as government do now, we are saying we're happy because any person will go permit offense or you go do battle like this cannot come and disturb everybody. They will just pass that person and have that uniform, which they lumber.
Recommendations made at the end of this engagement meeting will be forwarded to the Ekiti State House of Assembly, where a public hearing will be held and law will be enacted for smooth operations of scavengers in the state. In Ado Ekiti, Olukemi Sani, NTA News.
Senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District and former governor of Plateau State, Simon Bacalong, has expressed sadness over the passing of former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Lieutenant General Jeremiah Hussaini, at the age of 82. A statement by the Special Advisor on Media to the Plateau State Senator, Dr. Simon Macham, says Lalong received with a heavy heart the death of the veteran military general, politician and elder statesman who served Nigeria with dignity, integrity and patriotism. The statement recalls the accomplished military career of General Hussaini, who served in various capacities within the Nigerian army and was the military governor of Old Bendel State, Minister of Transport and Quartermaster General of the Nigerian Army. As FCT Minister, General Hussaini was instrumental to its development, which has progressed to one of the fastest growing and successful capital cities in Africa. Lalong said the foray of General Hussaini into politics also recorded successes, as he served, among others, as senator representing Plateau South Senatorial District between 2015 and 2019, where he did his best to touch the lives of the people. Senator Lalong also described General Hussaini as a fine politician whose credentials were at play when he contested as PDP candidate during the Plateau governorship race in 2019. He prayed God to grant him eternal rest and forgiveness for his shortcomings and comfort to his family. The death has occurred in Jos of Alhaji Wada Usman, a pioneer staff of NTA Jos Network Center, when it started off as Benue Plateau Television, BPTV, in 1974. Aged 66, the late Alhaji Wada has been acknowledged by colleagues as hardworking, peaceful and cordial. Survived by wife, children and many relations, the late Alhaji Wada died after a protracted illness at the Jos University Teaching Hospital and was buried yesterday according to Islamic rites. That concludes the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunlu.